Hello, loyal listeners. Welcome back and thank you for listening. We are here with another energy-charged episode of Buckle Up with Bershawn, your 30-minute take time to be inspired, entertained, and empowered. It's time to live your best life and celebrate. And you ask, what are we celebrating? You. Yes, you. We are celebrating you, so sit back and enjoy because today we have the most amazing show ever with amazing guests, Michael Levitt. Yes.
Yeah.
I know. I love it. And today's segment is about powerful men who have powered through. Powerful men. You're a powerful guy. And let me tell you why this show is important, because it's all about stepping into your power. We're in 2019, 2020 is coming, the new year. What is your power? Stand in your power to speak up, stand up, and not be afraid. For so long, I used to live in fear. I never wanted to rock the boat. I didn't stand in my power. I was the fun girl, the nice girl, the outgoing girl, but I never stood in my power of who I was, standing and speaking my truth. And now I do. I have a podcast, and now I really speak my truth, and I tell it like it is.
Love it.
Yeah, so that's what today's session is about. And I want you as the listener to not be afraid either. It's 2020 in about a month. It's time to speak up and stand up and stop being afraid. Get what you want. This show today is brought to you by Roundtable Wellness, a woman-led cannabis company that provides products to help inspire and empower women. And it's brought to you by Cat Connection, which is a non-for-profit, no-kill animal rescue. Cat Connection provides shelter, medical care, and a safe haven. Now let's go back to the lovely Michael Levitt.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, let me tell the audience who you are, because you're amazing.
Sure.
I mean, I've looked at bios all online and in front of me, and you have just done it all. I mean, you are an Emmy-nominated showman. You're industry sought-after producer of event TV programming, films, everything. Levitt creates, you create franchises, offline and online events, reality shows. You work with animal shelters and non-for-profits to rescue dogs. Wow.
I kind of do it all, or try, or at least try to.
I know. I say you do it all. And I love that. When I wanted to pick a guest, I really thought of you because I thought, wow. I mean, this man has done it all in Hollywood. Now, Hollywood is a tough place to get in and stay in. How did you do it?
Well, actually, your theme for today ties in really nicely to that. You know, standing in your truth, going after what you believe in, and not being afraid to ask. And I learned that at a very young age from my father. The worst people can say to you is no.
Yep.
And once you learn that and get past that and don't let it affect you, the world is kind of yours. And that's what I embraced at a young age. So my history in entertainment started when I was actually in the 9th grade. I was the president of my junior high school, and I was in the office one day. And at that time, the secretary, which is such a dated term, but appropriate for back in the day.
Back in the day.
She got a phone call from a lady who had a company where they procure audiences to attend TV tapings. And this lady in the office said, I don't deal with that, but our student body president is here, Michael. Do you want to talk to this lady? And I said, sure. And I said, you want to send a group of us to go see a taping of The Facts of Life?
Yeah.
I'm in.
You're right.
So I got the honors club in my junior high school to 50 kids. They sent a bus. We went to a taping. I loved it. I got the entertainment bug early because of that. I kept doing that. I got another group in my school to do the same thing. And then my father said, why don't you ask this lady if she'll pay you to find her other groups to attend these TV tapings? And
wow.
So, again, 9th grade, asked the question, and you know what? She said, yes, I will give you $50 for every group you find me. And so I would call churches and temples and senior groups, and they would send buses for them to go to The Price is Right and all these shows. And it was and so I'm like 14 making $150, $200 a week by being on the phone a couple hours a week. And it was through that I created these relationships, which allowed me to then get a job as a page for Norman Lear, the famous producer. And I worked on shows like Different Strokes and One Day at a Time and Silver Spoons.
Oh my God, the 80s, the best 80s shows ever.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's how it all started for me.
Oh, wow. But you see, listeners, this was from like how one small thing in your life became something huge, became your passion, your drive, right? And so that's why I always tell people, be open to situations. Don't be closed-minded. People are like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. In the ninth grade, you don't know what you want to do. But you chose to be open, and then you liked it, and now look where it's taking you.
And I didn't let my age limit me.
Right. You didn't let your age. So you were a little mini entrepreneur in the ninth grade.
I was. And then by the time I was 17, I was the talent coordinator on the Academy Awards. And when they they actually didn't know how old I was at the time. And they learned later. And they're like, we can't believe we hired a 17-year-old. And you know what? Let me take that back. I was 18.
Okay.
But still, I was in charge of all the logistics and details of all these celebrities on a show that was going out to 1 billion people around the world. And again, I didn't let my age or lack of experience limit me.
Was it because at a young age you were fearless, or you were just like your father said, it doesn't matter. Don't just keep going. Do what you love, and like the doors will open. Because most people will say, the Academy Awards, I'm nervous. I don't want to do that. That's too much responsibility. Why me? What pushed you past all of that?
Some of it might have been a little naivete of not knowing like what I was really getting myself into. But I will tell you what, to answer your question, I had a mentor tell me at a very young age around that time that to grow in your career and to grow in life, you have to stretch yourself. And that's going to mean that you're going to take on things that make you nervous. Mm-hmm. And that's actually a good sign. And then she said, somebody's got to do that job. So why not you?
Wow.
So really just knowing that, yeah, it's going to be a little nerve-wracking, but I can do it.
I can do it, right? So, no, I love that. I love that. So, Michael, you've done so much. And now you have a popular show on called The Rap Battle.
I do. I'm very excited about it. So it's Rap Battle, but it's WRAP.
Yes.
It's an actual gift wrapping competition that currently airs on Freeform Network and Hulu. And I'm so proud of it.
How is it? I mean, because I hear people talking about this show that people are like, they're fighting for the wrapping paper. How did you even come up with the rap battle? How did you come up with this? This is so interesting.
Actually, I would love to take credit for it because I do create most of the shows that I produce. But in this particular case, a wonderful woman, Carrie McCool, who's an executive at the network, it was her idea. And because we had worked together previously, she said, I have this idea. Do you think you could turn it into a show? So myself and my producing partner, Jill Galarte, we actually developed and laid out what several episodes would look like. And it was as a result of that development and bringing this idea to life that they gave us the green light.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to tell you, I think it's brilliant, and I think it's funny, and it's entertaining. It's all what you, and I like it. It's just, I always say that you don't have to have, because TV has gone so negative, which I don't like. I don't like everything is a big fight, or it's a big, I hate you, boom, get hit upside the head with a bottle. I don't think that's real life. But this is something like rapping. So it's a real drama with a lot of heightened emotions within it.
That's exactly true. And part of the fun is people keep tweeting and posting, I can't believe how seriously these competitors take their gift wrapping.
Yeah.
And yes, for the most part, it is all feel good and joyful. But I'm not going to lie, there's a little bit of drama and it's funny because our host is Cheryl Underwood from The Talk, who we love.
Yep.
And then we have Carson Kressley and a rapping expert named Wanda Wen, who's like the legend of gift wrapping. And there's been a little bit of fighting between the contestants, like who turned off my glue gun.
Yeah.
But it's fun, and it's
fun.
not mean-spirited. And like Cheryl says, you know what? That's what happens with families during the holidays.
It's so true.
Yeah.
But this is true. So even tell me about like shows that are now on today. Do you like it stayed on this mean-spirited road for a long time.
Sure.
Are you for that? Do you like that? Do you think that we have to have the big fight, to keep TV and reality going?
So for myself personally, I do not like it. And if you were to look at sort of all of my credits and the shows that I do, the common theme is that everything that I do is feel good. and it's funny, it's irreverent.
I
It
love
can
you.
be a little bit nostalgic,
Yeah.
but I've really I only want to make things that I'm proud of. And so I've turned down a lot of those mean-spirited shows, and I'm not into that at all.
How do we change it? I love that. Thank you. How do we change TV? I mean, is it going to stay? Even my nieces and my nephews are like, are we going to stay watching negativity, fights all the time, women pulling each other's hair? Is that what we're going to learn from?
I think it's definitely not helping society, and it bums me out the same way that I can tell it bums you out.
Yeah.
So I created a show in 2002 called the TV Land Awards, which is a celebration of classic television. And it's basically like a Kennedy Center honors, but all TV reunions. And this show did extremely well for it ran for over 14 years. And people always would ask me, why do I think that show was successful? And I think because people are tired of mean-spirited programming, and for 2 hours they can watch a show like TV Land or Rap Battle and escape, and it takes them back, in the case of TV Land,
Nostalgia.
to a kinder, gentler time. And I think that the pendulum is swinging, and people, especially in the messed up, crazy world we live in, they want that so badly. They want feel-good television.
They really do. Oh my gosh. The phone lines are lighting up, Michael.
Great.
And they want to talk to you. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello.
Well, hello.
How are you?
Hi there.
Good. How you doing? This is Michelle calling from Louisiana.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
How you doing today?
Good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I've got a question for Michael, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
course.
Michael's here to talk.
Well, Michael, I know you were a big part of Michael Jackson's memorial service, and I hope I can ask a question about that,
Sure.
if that's okay.
Sure.
How did you, how I can't even imagine the emotions and everything going on with that show. How did you even start to put that together?
Great question, and definitely something that I was very honored to be a part of. I was actually contacted by a legendary producer and mentor of mine named Ken Ehrlich, who's very famous for producing the Grammys for well over 30 years, among many other incredible shows. And he was the one that actually got contacted by the Jackson family after Michael passed away. And it was probably about 3 days after Michael's passing, and I looked on my phone and I saw there was a call from Ken, and I knew exactly why he was calling. And he said, they've asked Ken said they've asked me to put this memorial together, and I have 4 days to do it, and I need you. So literally, I said, of course, I'm in. Literally 2 hours later, I was down at the Staples Center in a conference room with the Jackson family, and writing up a rundown of the show on a napkin with the
Wow.
family. So I didn't have time to really absorb the bigness and how profound that was, what we were doing. But in looking back, it was obviously bittersweet, but something that I was so appreciative and proud to be a part of. And it was incredible what we pulled off in 4 days. And certainly this is not about awards. We were honored by the NAACP with an Image Award for that show. And one of the things that they were kind of grappling with was like, does a memorial for Michael Jackson count as a production?
A production, yeah. but
And
it
the
does.
truth is it did, because
did.
we had performances and rundowns and teleprompters and scripts and the whole everything that you would put into a show. And I was really proud of the team of people that came together to make that happen in his honor.
Wow. Michael, that's huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I'm like sitting here saying, wow, that's history. Like, that's legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. No. Thank you, caller.
Thank
did that,
you so much.
Did that answer your question?
Oh, yes. Thank you for that. It's amazing what you guys did, and amazing what you've been doing all the time. So thank you for taking my call.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, wow, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Michael. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, so tell me that probably, or is that one of the biggest projects you've ever done?
I mean, that was seen by over 1 billion people around the world. So yeah, the viewership on that was incredible. But I've just had the good fortune of doing, whether it's the Billboard Music Awards or Ryan Seacrest live from the red carpet on E. Like you said, I have my hand in quite a few different projects, and they're all pretty high profile, and they're all amazing in their own way.
But since you've done so much, right? And so it's like, I mean, hit after hit. Which show really touched your soul or you really connected with? Like, what's a show that you did? You can say, I don't care how many viewerships it had. I don't care what. I love this show. I put my heart and soul into this show.
Well, I try and put my heart and soul into everything that I do, but to your point specifically, that would have to be the show that I'm currently working on, which will be airing in February. That is the American Rescue Dog Show.
Oh, wow.
And I would love to share with you how that came about.
Tell me.
I think you'll really appreciate it. So in 2011, my sister was dying of cancer.
Oh, wow.
And it was at that time that I realized that I wanted to have a dog. And after she would pass, and so I talked to my partner about the idea of adopting, and it was my birthday, and I went with a girlfriend of mine, and we went to a Petco pet adoption, and in the corner was this dog in a cage, and there were all these like yapping little dogs, and there was this one big dog, and I said, can I look at that dog? And the lady brought the dog out, and my friend turned to me and goes, oh no, that's a pit bull. You can't, you can't adopt that. And this dog came over and sat on my lap, but turned around. So his butt was towards me and he was facing out. And all these little kids came up to this dog and all he did was lick their face. And so 5 minutes later, my friend said, okay, maybe. And so this dog was so sweet. And I said, okay, this is the first dog I've looked at. Let me think about it. And I left. Couldn't stop thinking about this dog. Yeah. And my plan was a week later to come back to this pet adoption with my partner so he could look at this dog. And we live in LA and we live in Palm Springs, and we were in Palm Springs together. We had driven there in different cars, and my partner and I got a call that my sister had taken a turn for the worse.
Oh, God.
And that was the day we were going to go back and look at the dog. And whatever happened, we had a big fight. And
your partner, you and your partner.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, 25 years. Come on, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it was very emotional. He's very close to my sister. So here's the most amazing part. So we had a fight, and I said, forget about the dog. It's never going to happen with what's going on. And I can't believe you're talking to me this way. And I'm out of here, and I'm going to go be by my sister's bedside. And I don't even know if we should be together. And I peeled out in my car, drove to my mother's house where my sister was in hospice, thinking my life's a mess. My sister's going to die.
Everything's
my
happening.
Relationship and all of that.
Right.
4 hours later, my partner, Mark, walked through the door with that dog.
Oh.
So based on that photo, he went and adopted that dog. And that dog's name is Trooper. Trooper ran in the house, jumped on my mom's couch, peed on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
kissed
they do.
me. and my sister saw the joy this dog brought to my life. And 4 days later, she passed away. So you hear about dog rescue. There's this famous saying, who rescued who?
Yeah.
This dog came into my life at a very difficult time and showed me how magical it is to rescue an animal. And that's what got me involved in dog rescue.
Dog rescue. I got to tell you, so this story is very touching because I, too, am a cancer survivor. Yes, a stage 4.
And I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Stage 4 cancer survivor, given 3 months to live.
Inspiration is too light of a word for you.
My
you
gosh.
are incredible.
Yeah, thank you. 12 years cancer-free, and I got a dog. And a dog really was what put me through all of the chemo and the radiation and coming home with that lick on your face. And I mean, they make you feel good. You
on
have
your
the
worst day.
Your worst day.
Yes.
You smell, you look crazy.
Yes.
They are so happy. I'm like, God, why can't my partner be like this?
and they that's right. I'm with you. Yeah. I always say to Mark, if it's between me or the dog, I know you'd pick the dog, and I'm okay with that.
I know,
you know?
Exactly. I got to tell you, because they just bring joy.
They do, and they teach us so much. They teach us how to live in the moment.
Yes.
And that's so important. And then, I don't have kids. So for me to think about something other than myself is, and this is funny. So I have been accused of being a hypochondriac because, I sneeze and I think I'm dying. I go on the internet, self-diagnose. And the joke is that ever since we've adopted dogs, I haven't been to the doctor once. They've been to the vet 180 times because I transferred it.
Oh, my God. Oh, gosh. Okay. We have another call. We got 15 callers. Okay,
All
go
right.
ahead. Let's go to the caller. Hello.
Oh, hi. My name is Karen, and I'm from Florida.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Michael, I was just wondering how you came up with the idea of a rap battle.
Oh, well, we sort of addressed that started with the network presenting the idea, and then I developed it along with my producing partner. But the fun of that is coming up with the challenges on a show like that. So like we had a challenge where they had to rap all night because every parent can relate to pulling an all-nighter.
Oh my God.
We had Santa diving out of a plane, skydiving out of a plane to deliver the challenge. We did so many fun things,
so
and
fun.
it really tests our creativity, and I think it really shows on the show how fun it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
love
good.
that.
Wow. So question, Mike. So I guess rap battle has to only be during the holidays.
Yes.
You can't. So it films only through like November and December and.
Well, we shot it back in September, but it airs now.
airs
It's airing
next
now.
time.
Our finale is actually coming up next Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so inspirational.
Yes. And by the way, everybody now expects me to give them a perfectly wrapped gift,
Oh,
which is a problem because I'm the producer of Rap Battle.
And you don't know how to do it, do you?
Oh, no. I'm like, Glad bags and tissue paper with
right. And here you go.
wrapping that tape around it.
Oh my gosh. So also, okay, so you have a dog rescue show coming on. Now, what was your first show that you did? The very first show.
The first show that I ever sold was a Britney Spears special, Britney in Hawaii.
Oh wow.
And that was very highly rated. And that led to a second Britney Spears special, Britney Spears' There's No Place Like Home. And her manager at the time also managed NSYNC. So that led to an NSYNC special. So those were the first shows
Those are
that I
big
actually saw. They were
shows.
huge.
How did you? Okay, and you were producer, executive producer, showrunner.
I was a showrunner and producer for hire at the time, but what happened was Britney's publicist came to me and said, we've tried to sell a special with her, and this was, oops, I did it again level of bigness at the time, and they couldn't sell it for some reason. And I was doing the Billboard Music Awards at the time, and I knew that in 2 weeks she was going to win 14 awards, including Artist of the Year.
Wow.
And I had this idea that she doing a show in Hawaii with her would be an amazing visual with her beautiful smile and that flower in her hair. And I also knew that executives would love a reason to go to Hawaii. So that was the pitch. So the morning after the Billboard Awards, we pitched the network executives at Fox this idea coming off of her big win, and they bought it right there on the spot.
Wow. Now tell the audience, because I get asked this a lot.
Sure.
What is a showrunner? People don't know what a showrunner is, and a showrunner is really the foundation of shows. I mean, you are the brick and mortar of a show.
That's right.
Tell the audience what a showrunner is. What's the difference between producer, showrunner, executive?
Yeah,
producer?
it's a great question because all these titles are ambiguous and they can mean different things.
Yeah.
But ultimately, a showrunner is the person that is in the trenches on a day-to-day basis running the show. They are really doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So when I do specials, I work in that showrunner capacity because when people hire me, they want me in that role.
Yep.
But because I have my own production company, when I'm creating shows, many of those I help develop and then I pitch it, I sell it. I'm involved in the creative to get it going, but I'm not doing the day-to-day. I have a showrunner that works with me to do that.
An executive producer is just a...
So I would be an executive producer, and that means that I sold the show, I got funding for the show, I came up with the concept.
Okay, so it's everything. Okay.
It can be a lot of different things, but the showrunner is really the person that's doing the heavy lifting on a day-to-day basis.
Well, so how can someone get into this position?
Well, there's no one way to really work your way into any one position in the business, which I know that you know very well. Everybody sort of has to find their own path. But my recommendation to people is it's all about your work ethic. It's all about not diving in, making your boss's job easy.
Yes.
So that they can check it off their list and know that you are getting it done for them. And I've always never worried about where things were going to take me. I knew that I loved working in entertainment, but I didn't know exactly where I would end up. What I focused on was today and working hard and impressing the people that hired me. And that has always led me to my next opportunity and opened doors for me.
I love that. So it's about working hard. No matter what, get in the door. Get in the door in whatever way you can. Talent agency, production companies, but work hard. You said let your bosses know, make their jobs easier.
That's right. And then two other things that I think are very important. One is writing letters to people that you meet. Not emails, but handwritten letters. If you have the opportunity to meet somebody on a high level, to send them a handwritten note and let them know that you enjoyed meeting them and you hope someday there's an opportunity to do something together, will set you apart from most people because they don't do that.
They don't do that. And it shows that you care and you're taking the time out.
It does.
Nowadays, I tell people, we just don't take the time anymore. Everything is so fast, so quick. A quick email, a quick text, no one really cares. But that, sending a letter, wow, that's powerful.
And someone told me once, go to the stationery store and just buy a thick stack of, those single cards on thicker stock.
Yeah.
They're not too big. Yeah. And have them on your desk, just readily available so that you can always, even if it's 3 or 4 cents, just a quick note to let you know how much I enjoyed meeting you. It will help you get so far in your career. The other thing that I think is important are always look for internships. Anytime you have an opportunity where you can intern for somebody, it's helping to get you in the door and expose you to things. And also, don't think that you're too good to start at the bottom.
Hold on, go back and say that again.
Yes. Yes. I've met so many people that were too good to start at the bottom, and years later, they have gotten nowhere.
They've gotten nowhere.
The way that you learn and absorb is by starting at the bottom. And by the way, as a producer now, I will pick up things and move cables and do what I have to do. I'm not too proud to roll up my sleeves and get in the trenches and help, because that's what a good producer and a good person in production does.
Now, in this industry, who was your mentor, someone you looked up to?
Well, I'm going to tell you one that you're going to love. So I had the good fortune of partnering with Mr. Henry Winkler.
Oh, wow.
We produced the last incarnation of Hollywood Squares together after the Whoopi Goldberg era. And it was magical. Can you imagine when I got a call asking me if I would consider partnering with the Fonz to produce Hollywood Squares?
I love it.
And what was first of all, he is the nicest man in show business.
He really does seem like he is.
He
not affected at all.
He is the real deal.
Really?
And I learned, look, I was fortunate to be raised by incredible parents, so I'd like to think that being a mensch is in my DNA. But watching Henry on the set go up to that best boy or cable person or whatever on a set and go out of his way to walk up to them and put his hand on that person's shoulder and go, "How are you today? How's your family?" They would light up, and it meant so much to the crew. It meant so much to know that he was looking at them in the eye and genuinely valuing them. And when you nurture your crew and your staff, it starts at the top. You are going to get a better show out of it.
You totally will. Oh my gosh. Starting at the top, just making everyone feel good, like they're a part of it and that you care.
And there's power in that.
Yes.
And you talked about that power at the beginning of this. There is power in making people feel good.
There's so much power in making people feel good. And let me tell you, so even as a coach, let me tell you, I was just at the airport. I think I spoke in Dallas because I coach people all over the country. And literally, I went up to the woman at American Airlines and I said, "How are you today? You look beautiful." And she was like, "Oh, me?" Like almost, she was like, "Me? Are you talking to me?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, no, you look beautiful. I love your lipstick, your hair. You look very pretty." She was like, "Wow." She said, "You made my day. No one has ever said that."
Well, You know what's so great about you and your podcast
Yeah.
is you're making a difference, because we're reminding people through a podcast like this how we can pay it forward.
Yes.
I mean, we need it more than ever in this world.
We do.
And to be able to make someone's day and make them smile and make them feel good, it's huge.
It's so important when we look at all of the toxicity that's in America now, the killings. I mean, every day, Michael, I wake up to a new killing. Whether it's a school, it's Pearl Harbor, it's everything. I mean, wherever you go, there's a killing, there's a shooting. When does it stop? So we have to make each other smile. We have to make, like, I love that you are doing Make a Difference television.
Thank you. And back to the dog show, I kind of got derailed on that.
Yeah.
So the dog show that I'm doing, the American Rescue Dog Show, it's like a Westminster dog show, but all rescues. And instead of judging them on their bloodlines, we celebrate their cuteness. So the categories are best in wiggle butt, best in couch potato, snoring, underbite,
Oh, my
senior
gosh.
dog. And it's all meant to inspire people to rescue their next dog instead of buying one from a breeder.
Rescue.
And
Oh.
so for me, that will be my legacy, to be able to produce a show and have that national platform to celebrate dogs in shelters. That's what makes me smile every day.
That
And
makes a difference.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So if you ever need someone on the show, I'm a dog lover. Like,
Great.
I'm a dog lover. I have a French bulldog, a Frenchie,
Great.
and I have two Wheaton Terriers. I
Great, yeah,
was
yeah.
like, what do I have?
Yeah.
Two Wheaton Terriers.
Yeah.
I love them.
I would rather be around dogs than people, to be honest.
Me too. Don't you love me too? How about
Yes.
Give me a high
Yeah.
five on
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I'm like, dogs are better
Yeah,
than dogs.
yeah.
Well, you know what? It is, because, I mean, we judge each other as people. It's always something. Can't we just be who we are, love
Right.
each other, and lick each other on the face?
Yes, I'm down with that. I'm
Give each
down
other-
with that.
Give each other a big kiss.
Yeah.
Michael, oh my gosh. Thank you for coming on the show. You are amazing.
Right back to you.
I know.
So are you.
So just tell the audience, how many shows have you produced? Do you know it in your head?
I'm going to say over 200,
What?
including specials and series. Yeah.
And you don't even look that old. I mean, I'm thinking
Oh,
you're like,
thank you.
Over 200 shows.
Yeah. I
Wow.
remember I started when I was 18.
Yeah, you were
You know?
18, so you started. Wow.
And I feel very grateful for every opportunity that I get.
Yeah, I could tell working with you is great. You just
Thank
have
you.
you have a great spirit. Oh my
I feel that about you. You light up a room.
Thank you, and so do you.
Thank you.
The Michael and Bershawn Show. Look, and where can we find you, Michael?
I am on Twitter and I am on Insta, as the millennials say.
Okay.
At Michael, MICHLEV,
H-A-E-L.
Thank you
I was like-
you for helping me spell
Yeah, I
my
was
own
like,
name.
I don't think it's that. I love it.
Levitt, LEVITT_1. And you'll see a little picture of me with a dog. So that's easy to find me.
So we'll find you
Yes.
on Insta, Facebook, Twitter,
Correct.
everything.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for
No
coming.
TikTok. That's the new one.
Oh
I
yeah,
hear.
TikTok. I know. Oh gosh, everyone's going crazy.
Yes,
with this
yes.
I love it. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. See,
Yes.
Renella, I'm so glad you came on the show. You're very inspirational, motivational, and your shows are amazing. Everyone, you have to go watch Rap Battle, and then what's the name of the show? The Dog Show.
Yeah, so Rap Battle, Freeform, and Hulu, and then the American Rescue Dog Show. Look for that in February on the Hallmark Channel.
Oh, I love it. And you can find me at Bershawn Shaw, BERSHAN, SHAW on Twitter, Facebook, Insta, like you said, and my website, www.bershan.com. Thank you for coming on Buckle Up with Bershawn.
Thank you.
And this hour was brought to you by Roundtable Wellness, a woman-led cannabis company that provides products for women's needs, and the Cat Connection. There will be pictures on the screen for adoptable cats that you can adopt. They're so cute.
So cute.
Oh, look at that. Thank you, Cat Connection.
Thank you.
So beautiful. Thank you, Michael Levitt.
Pleasure.
Yes, we did a collab.
We just collabed and I loved it.
I loved it too. We are a team. The Michael and Bershawn Show.
Yes, collabing on Insta
Yes. Thanks so
and
much,
on your
babe.
wonderful podcast.
Yes, thank you. Buckle up with Bershawn. Until next time, live your best life with no excuses.